Hey, LinkedIn. Hey, how you guys are doing today on this Monday morning? As promised, I am on here again talking about my book, Healthy Character, the Healthy Leader. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys briefly about one word that I want to give you guys every day, and that word is pride. I want to take this week, you guys. I believe it was on last week that I did a lot of talking about character traits and, our strong traits and what character really is, and, just a lot of different things, as it relates to healthy character. And so I wanted to actually take this week to really talk to you guys about the character flaws. Okay, doom, doom, doom. Character flaws. Character flaws are flaws that will really hinder you from really going about your daily life and doing all that you set out to do. Flaws will destroy you, okay? Every day, all day. Unchecked flaws is what leads to poor performance, period. I want you guys to remember that and tell yourself every day, unchecked flaws, okay? Unchecked flaws is what leads to poor performance. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. It's unchecked flaws. That's it. That is what leads to poor performance. Okay? So you have to get to a place where you tell yourself that I am going to be the best me ever. I'm not going, when I think about image consultants, I think about people who create an image for you to represent your brand. And a lot of times it's a false representation of who you are personally. It's not enough personal development of who you are as a person. So what I like to do is help the person become who they really are, not become some type of brand, but who are you? Become the real you. You understand what I'm saying? And so unchecked flaws is what leads to your poor performance. And the word that I want to leave you guys with today is the spirit of pride. Yes, we have to get the spirit of pride up out of us. As I put on my post today, we have to eliminate the things that needs to be eliminated. Because if we don't put ourselves in a position where we are eliminating the things that needs to be eliminated, then I am telling you what I know, and it's going to destroy everything that you're working on, because it is going to result in poor performance, and no one is going to want to hire you. No one is going to want to work with you when you do not check those flaws. And what I found out is that people who deal with a lot of character flaws, they bury the gift. Not gift, but they bury the flaws. A lot of times they don't deal with them, they bury them. They bury them, okay? They bury them, they hide them. They don't go through a process of elimination to get the things out of them that needs to be up out of them, okay? And so I want to just come to you today, and I'm going to talk briefly. I'm not going to be long. Let me read something. I already told you guys that unchecked flaws is what leads to your poor performance. And so flaws are defined as imperfections, weaknesses, shortcomings, deficiencies, and limitation. They're the very things that will limit you and stop you from progressing and moving forward in the area that you need to move forward in. Okay, these are all the things that flaws represent. And so if you want to be great, if you want to succeed and advance in what you're trying to advance in, then you have to make sure that you do this daily assessment and eliminate everything that needs to be eliminated, starting with your flaws. Don't work on sometimes we try to work on our character traits like humility. I want to build up some humility. But anytime you want to build up humility, it is going to require you to put yourself in a position to be tested. That means it's some work you're going to have to do in order to put yourself. There's going to be some work that you're going to have to do in order to put yourself in a position, okay, to be better. To develop this trait. How can you really develop the trait of humility without finding yourself in a position to be tested? Even when it comes to deliverance, your deliverance will be tested. Anytime you're in a position where you feel like you've been free from everything that's been keeping you bound internally, is going to require a test to be done. And many of us, sad to say, fail the test because we lack in the area of personal development. And the reason we fail in the area of personal development is because of the spirit of pride. And so we have to make sure we get the spirit of pride up out of us. And so I want to say this before I end. There are 3 areas that our flaws falls up under. That's minor, major, and tragic. Minor, major, and tragic. Any flaw that you have can fall up under any one of these categories, or it can fall up under all 3 categories. And when it comes to the spirit of pride, it falls up under all 3 of these categories. Why? Because pride has 2 different connotations. Okay, it has 2 different connotations. It has 2 different meanings. Okay, pride is a good thing. We want you to take pride in your word, take pride in who you are. But then, from a negative perspective, pride is, I don't need nobody to help me. Can't nobody do it better than me. I'm better than everybody else. I'm willing to kill and take out my opponent simply because I feel like I'm better at the job anyway. I want to sit everybody else down because can't nobody do it the way that I do it. That's a negative perspective of pride. And so pride has 2 different meanings. It has 2 different connotations. And so it can actually fall up under minor, major, and tragic. Okay? Pride is a habit. It's not something that you woke up one day in and now all of a sudden you prideful. No, pride is something that's developed throughout the years, throughout time. It's something that you're growing in that's been overlooked. It comes from a lack of discipline. It comes from a lack of correction. It comes from wrong teaching. It comes from personal insecurities, not checking who you are. And so pride, you have to get that spirit of pride up out of you. People with the spirit of pride think that they know everything and think that can't nobody do it better than them. People with the spirit of pride tell themselves that it's either going to be my way or it ain't going to be no way at all. People with the spirit of pride want to assume responsibility for other people but don't take responsibility for themselves. They want to take responsibility for leading people, but they don't want to take responsibility for leading themselves, because leading themselves requires what? Personal development. It requires personal development. Okay, you guys? So I'm going to close out with this and give you the solutions that I want you guys to embrace. Okay, here's the solution to getting rid of the spirit of pride. First, you want to do a process of elimination. That means writing down everything that you may see that is hindering you as it relates to your mentality, the way you think. Is the way I think about things, is this what's turning people off? Let me write this down. Okay, then you want to make a decision to say teachable. Teachable, you guys, is a mindset. It is not something that comes from what you speak, but teachable is a mindset, okay? It means that while this person is talking and I'm talking, it means that my mind is at ease. It's at a place of rest because I'm listening. I'm taking everything in. I'm taking in what they're saying. I'm not listening just with an intent to respond to what they're saying, but I'm listening with an intent to really understand what they're saying. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're staying teachable. The next one is you got to wake up every day and tell yourself, I don't have all the answers. I don't know it all. Yeah, this is the way I interpret this, but maybe I interpret it wrong. Or this is the way I interpret it, and maybe we're not interpreting it that way anymore. Maybe it's a new way of thinking of it. Maybe it's a new revelation. You know, tell yourself every day, I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. You don't. The next one is get and submit to some accountability. I'm not talking about sitting down with people who like, you know, I'm a book writer. I'm not talking about getting around other writers that can teach me more about how to write and to hold me accountable for writing. No, I'm talking about being around people that's going to hold me accountable to my anger issue. That's going to hold me accountable to the spirit of pride that's still lingering on the inside of me. I'm talking about people that's going to hold me accountable to my mouth. Yeah, I used to have major issues with my mouth. We'll shut you down in a minute. So that's what I need, you guys. I need you guys to get and submit to somebody that's going to hold you accountable to your personal development. The next one is communicate when there is an issue. When you don't communicate when there is an issue and deal with it, this is where you start building up these internal grudges against people because you have unresolved issues with people. Unresolved issues. Okay? So you got to communicate when issues arise and deal with them right there. Don't run from them. Don't hide from them, but deal with them right